she was all over it from the jump. But we also had Jared Goff's deal go down last night, and it feels like that was ages ago at this point that even happened. But Jared Goff, he's now among the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Look at that, $110 million guaranteed with that $33.5 million there, the highlighted amount. Only Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger are paid more annually by an average right now. So you can see all of the highest paid quarterbacks there. But we sort of knew that this was going to happen. It was just kind of a matter of when. But what was your reaction when it first came down?
My reaction, I tweeted last night. You could talk about all these other teams and the Browns, and you could talk about bringing in Odell. Did any team have a better offseason than the Rams? Locking up Sean McVay for the next 5 years and now getting Jared Goff to a 4-year extension. For the next 5 years, they have a coach under the age of 35 under wraps, and they have a quarterback under the age of 30 who they love under wraps. We can talk about the numbers all we want. The interesting nook and cranny in this one, both Carson Wentz and Jared Goff share the same agents. So it's Bruce Tollner, Ryan Tollner, and Chase Callahan. So when they get the Carson Wentz deal done, they can't go and then somehow, get a completely different deal with Jared Goff. They can't blow out Wentz's money, and they can't absolutely insult Goff and let Wentz have more money. So we knew it was going to be in the same range. But I know the guys in the Rams building wanted this done for weeks. They got it done. And again, we can talk about the numbers all you want. It's a lot of guaranteed money. It's very rich in guaranteed money. It's a great deal for the Rams. They're set and they're stable, and there was no public drama. There was no Zeke watch with Jared Goff.
Now, you said that Wentz and Goff have the same agent. So what I hear is parents, you raise your kids to be an agent or a quarterback. You're going to make a lot of money. Let's date this back. We're going to talk about Jared Goff for the next 3 hours. So I want to start off by talking about what was said in regards to Jared Goff before we go into every conversation. Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson, the great wide receiver. He said when Jared Goff was drafted that the Rams forced the pick and that he's a nice kid, but he's not good enough. And you don't trade up for a guy like that. Now, you sit back and you look at Jared Goff that first season with Jeff Fisher, and then the growth, and then McVay, and then getting to the playoffs, and then the evolution of his game, and then last year getting to the Super Bowl, going toe for toe, blow for blow with Pat Mahomes, the league MVP. It's well-deserved. And the reason I bring all this up is because this is a lesson to every young player. You have an opportunity to rewrite the narrative no matter how it's written on you. So he could sit back right now and look at Keyshawn and say, hey, mister, give me the damn ball. All I was doing was looking at the team saying, give me the damn money. And they did. So 4-year, 134, 110 guaranteed. It's well-deserved because Jared Goff, not only was he put in the right position with the players and coaches that are placed around him over the last couple of years, but he also had to play well at quarterback. Let's not forget, we're going to compliment the surrounding pieces, and McVay is at the top of that list. But Jared Goff did a great job the last 2 years to rewrite the narrative, which also included the word bust after his rookie season.
Big time. And I'll have a lesson for the fans. The lesson is the Rams aren't going anywhere. They're here to stay. I think there's a sense with the Rams and McVay that maybe fans started to roll their eyes a little bit. There's so much hero worship, and he's taken over the league. I think some fans really relished in seeing them getting slapped around in the Super Bowl a little bit.
3 points they scored.
3 points. I mean, it was a terrible day.
It was maybe the worst performance ever by a quarterback in a Super Bowl.
I think it was.
You think fans relished in that, though?
I just think it's a little bit like... It's a good question. But in terms of the Rams in general, it's like enough, right? They're not going anywhere. I mean, Peter's laying it out. The quarterback, the coach, the GM, Aaron Donald has a deal. Brandon Cooks has a deal. Todd Gurley has a deal. If you are ready for the Rams thing to end, it ain't ending. It's just one of many things that comes from Los Angeles that is not stopping. If you're tired of the stupid superhero movies, they're going to keep making them.
That's it.
All right? They're going to keep making Fast and Furious movies. I'm sorry.
I love
Stop
Fast
buying
and
them. And the Rams are coming Fast and Furious for the next 5-10 years. It ain't ending. These guys are here to stay. And I'm sorry.
And you know what's so interesting, too, because we talk so much about how teams need to win it now while they have these young rookie quarterbacks and they're not paying them anything. But now we're seeing the wave of these quarterbacks that said teams were trying to win with, paying them cheaply. And now they have to pay them. And I think it'll be interesting to see how these teams are able to adapt over the years.
I think the Rams have laid out a blueprint where it's you pay Eric Weddle and Clay Matthews on short deals. Ndamukong Suh gets a 1-year deal. Dante Fowler gets a 1-year deal. It's not everybody getting these monster deals, but those key core pieces, Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley. I think Cooks is locked up for 4 more years. Those are the guys you make sure, and then you draft really well.
Isn't it interesting? The team that they crushed in the playoffs last year, Dallas Cowboys,
News this morning, the quarterback's here, the running back's here. You know what I really need? I need the Jerry Jones soundbite. I need to hear, we've been hearing from him all summer. I want to hear Mr. Jones. I'm picturing like the flight suit and the mission accomplished banner behind him, something like that, but we need word from, whether it's Jane or anybody, I got to hear from Mr. Jones.
It's going down. Listen, we got a great show. Don't you guys go anywhere. We have a huge guest, Kyle, you talked about earlier. QB1 for the Minnesota Vikings.